learners. I am Dr. Pratibha and I welcome you all to this lecture on Unit 1, Starting and Ending Conversations from the course Begla 135, Greetings and Goodbyes. The content of this unit will be covered in two videos. In video 1, the topic of discussion is greetings and how to start a conversation. In video 2, the topic of discussion is how to keep a conversation going and the right ways to end it. After this lecture, you will be able to understand the following. What do we mean by conversation? How to start a conversation? Greetings, their significance, some examples, and basic rules. How to make appropriate topic selection for holding conversations. What are some safe and some unsafe topics? We'll conclude the video with a few tips for holding meaningful conversations. Let us begin. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines conversations as oral exchange of sentiments, observations, opinions, or ideas. We do have some synonyms too. Dialogue, discourse, discussion, and exchange are some other words that mean the same. Conversations as a form of verbal communication play a vital role in our everyday activities, be it talking to our colleagues at work, family members at home, speaking to the shopkeeper we meet at the marketplace, or even talking to a stranger at the street. Verbal exchange of thoughts, views, feelings, even instructions or information of any kind to be given to people requires conversation. Conversations are also crucial for connecting with others and forming relationships with people to keep life exciting. Holding meaningful conversation is an ability which is admired by many people, and it is most important for living successfully in the world today. Conversations, like stories, have three parts. They have a beginning, a middle, and an end. To be able to have effective and pleasurable conversations, one needs to master all three of them. Some people find engaging in conversations challenging because they do not know how to start it, how to keep it going, and how to end it. Typically, conversations begin with greetings. The act of making others aware of your presence by communication is known as greeting. Appropriate greetings enable one to make the first good impression, establish good rapport, set a positive tone for any conversation, whether it be with your friends, boss, or even client. Through greetings, people make their presence known to one another and express interest in establishing several types of connections. Greetings also indicate social status between individuals or groups of people. Therefore, delivering the right impression through proper greetings to the people you come across is very important to learn, as it enables you to maintain good social image and better relationships in personal and professional life. There are different ways of greeting people in different countries and nations. Assalamu alaikum is an Arabic word which is used in several Muslim countries and other Arabic-speaking regions. There is also a great deal of linguistic diversity because we have different words for greetings in different languages. You must be aware, we say namaste in Hindi. In Hawaiian, the word is aloha. And you can see some other examples on the screen. In English, whether you want to greet someone for business or holiday or you just meet someone special for the very first time, a cheerful hello can help you establish a positive tone for your entire interaction. But do you know there are many other ways to greet people in English? Let us look at some alternatives and understand how to use them correctly and confidently. Some informal greetings that you may use with English-speaking friends, relatives, or anybody else with whom you're familiar are as follows. You can say, "Hi." This is another word for hello. And arguably, this is the most widely used greeting in the world. Another word, "Hey there." This is a different take on the word hello. It sounds cheerful and optimistic. Morning. This is a more informal and casual way of greeting good morning to someone you see frequently or on a regular basis. How's your day? How's your day going? These phrases simply mean, "How are you?" and not specifically ask how one has been feeling throughout the day. These are also generally used later in the day and with someone you meet frequently. Another option to use is to say, "What's going on? What's new?" This is an informal manner of asking someone how they are, and it is frequently substituted for hello. When you run into someone you haven't seen in a long time and you meet them unexpectedly, you can say, "It's great to see you again." You could also say, "It's been a while." Nice to see you or good to see you. These informal greetings are used when you haven't seen friends, co-workers, or family members in a long time. Now, one must remember that formal settings and official situations demand greetings in a formal manner, unless the other person greets in a casual way. Some of the most famous greetings for formal occasions are as follows. Generally, if you meet somebody before 12 p.m. in the day, you say good morning. If you meet somebody after 12 p.m., you wish good afternoon. If you meet somebody after 6 p.m. in the evening, you say good evening. Good day as a phrase can be used at any time throughout the morning or even an afternoon. How have you been? How have you been doing lately? These greetings are used when you meet somebody after some time and you want to know if you've been doing fine since the last time you saw or met each other. Another way to greet people in formal setting is to say, "It is nice meeting you," or "Pleased to meet you." When meeting someone for the first time, it's a common greeting. It is most commonly used in formal setting. Remember to use these pleasantries only when meeting someone for the first time. To give you another phrase, you can also say, "It's wonderful to see you again." You use this remark when you want to convey to the individual that you remember him or her. Now, let us look at some basic rules of greetings. It is very important to be mindful of our body language, gestures, and posture when we greet people. You can begin with making a friendly eye contact. Introduce yourself and extend your hand for a handshake when meeting new people. You can initiate small talk and speak with a welcoming smile. Be courteous and polite, and remember the etiquettes in formal conversations. For instance, introduce junior people to more senior ones. Alternately, you can begin with the name of the senior person and then introduce the junior person to them. Remembering the name of the person you've been introduced to is a good habit. Use the name properly. It shows that you have been attentive. Finally, be culturally sensitive in selecting the topic of conversation. Now, this is very important. Usually, when conversations begin, after a phase of greeting, some initial small talk, and probably some genuine inquiries about health, children, friends, travel, even the decor or location, participants decide on the basis of circumstances which topic they would like to speak on. If the participants meet often, like in a family setting, the shared background will make opening remarks minimal or almost non-existent. If the participants don't know each other very well, then there is a need to establish a common ground between the people. This will be a priority, along with the awareness of who they are talking to. This is more than just politeness. This requires mutual awareness. And accordingly, topics are selected for fruitful conversations. Here one should keep in mind that there are some topics that one must avoid, and there are some topics which are considered safe for conversations with anybody or everybody. Let's have a look at topics. Topic selection for conversations, what to talk about and what not to talk about. In relation to content, in the broadest term, people choose safe topics. These are topics that are likely to elicit shared views. These topics do not elicit strong personal opinions or generate emotional reactions or provoke an argument. While choosing a topic, be mindful that the subject matter has to be within the experience of both parties so that both can make a contribution, which is why such topics like weather or movies are counted as safe. However, what is counted as safe topic is not always obvious, and it also depends on the situation and the participants. For example, commuters on a train who read the same daily newspaper may consider discussing the crossword puzzle as a safe topic. It is in the nature of ritual exchange and does not go on for very long. The length may also be unpredictable, as it depends on the personal background, personality, and circumstances that people are in. People who know each other are likely to keep the exchanges going on for longer. There will also be an element of mutual recognition. People with different cultural backgrounds may have conflicting expectations about what makes a comfortable ritual exchange or safe topic to talk about. In the context of workplace meeting and the need to get on with the agenda, will usually truncate any opening ritual or small talk. It may also restrict the list of items that can be covered in the conversation. This could apply in formal business meetings, but may also play out in situations where a doctor is talking to a patient or between a sales assistant and a customer. The topics that are usually considered very problematic are politics, money, especially personal income, religion, race, and sex. These are considered the famous 5 problematic topics. Although in life we can talk about anything we wish, but the problematic topics, the ones I mentioned, are usually avoided because they invoke deeply held beliefs or affiliations and may even generate unease or embarrassment for people. So, traditional mantra is to avoid these topics. When talking to someone you do not know personally, you may know the topic that always works in a conversation. Even if you do not know somebody personally, it may be fruitful to know a few topics that you can talk about. So, even if you don't know anything about the person, you can still wedge your way in and begin a successful conversation. Here are 10 conversation topics that usually work: weather, traveling, cinema and art, food and cooking, parties or public events, and sports. Let us now look at each one of them in detail. Talking about weather is often how people start conversations with others, especially when you just don't know what to say. Talking about the weather is a good and safe option. It is an important part of small talk. It is a neutral topic of conversation. It is usually safe to use it to strike up a conversation even with a stranger that you might meet at a bus stop, in a shop, or even with a neighbor. Second topic, traveling. There are some questions on the screen that you can see. These questions can be used to open a conversation. You may ask the person, "What are you doing this weekend? What did you do on your last vacation? Have you traveled to any different countries? Which ones?" You may even ask for some recommendations. Cinema, TV shows, and books. A few questions that you may ask to get the conversation going are: who is your favorite entertainer? Which do you prefer? Books or movies? What was the last book you read? Do you prefer fiction or non-fiction? What is the worst movie you have seen recently? What's the funniest TV series you have seen? And so on. Food and cooking also form a popular topic of discussion. You may ask, what is the best restaurant in their area? Do you like to cook? What do you like to cook? What is your favorite cuisine or type of food? Do you like spicy food? Why or why not? Then sports. You may ask, what sports do you like to play? Who are some of your favorite athletes? Do you play sports video games? Which ones? And so on. Before we conclude the video today, it is important to learn a few tips for holding meaningful conversations. Apart from the content and topic of your conversation, you should also be mindful about your body language. Pay attention to the speaker in the conversation. Listen to understand. Try to minimize distractions, like not playing with your phone and avoiding multitasking. Maintain eye contact when you speak. And in case you find your mind drifting, bring yourself back to the present. Be conscious of your body language and turn it towards the person you're talking to. Smile. You may also occasionally nod. Remember to adopt an open body posture. Do not cross your arms. To show that you have been paying attention, you can repeat the keywords back to the person. You may even paraphrase a point that has been made. For clarification, ask questions, but try not to interrupt unnecessarily. Finally, here are some references that have been used to cull this lecture, and I recommend you all to go and check them out. I hope you found this discussion engaging and fruitful. Thank you very much.